He crowned himself emperor. He made kings tremble. He redrew Europe in his image. Yet Napoleon Bonaparte's final days were spent in agony, vomiting black bile, hallucinating, his body rotting away. The world was told it was cancer. But the truth may be darker. A slow, deliberate poisoning carried out in silence. In June 1815, Napoleon's empire came to its end at Waterloo. Defeated, he surrendered to the British, expecting mercy and asylum. Instead, they banished him to St. Helena, a tiny volcanic island in the South Atlantic, more than 1,000 miles from any shore. That was strategically done for Napoleon to die alone and isolated. The island was harsh, jagged cliffs, damp valleys, and endless rain. Napoleon's home, Longwood House, was little more than a rotting barracks. The walls leaked, the floors sagged, and mold spread through every room. His clothes grew moldy, his books decayed, his furniture warped. This wasn't a home, it was a prison built to break him slowly. Governor Sir Hudson Lowe made sure of it. No imperial title, no visitors without approval. Every letter read, every conversation overheard. Napoleon, once master of Europe, was now General Bonaparte, guarded by 2,800 soldiers. Even as a prisoner, he was still dangerous. In France, rumors of rebellion spread, and monarchs feared that one escape could start another war. So the guards didn't just watch him, they waited for him to wither away. By 1817, the decline began. It started with stomach cramps. Napoleon brushed it off. He'd suffered worse. Moscow's winter, poisoned meals, endless battlefields. But the pain sharpened. His appetite vanished. His face thinned, uniforms sagged, his body weakened. His doctor, Barry O'Meara, recorded everything. The vomiting, the cramps, the long hours doubled over in agony. Soon, stranger symptoms appeared. Yellowed skin, sudden bursts of rage, confusion, memory lapses. These weren't just signs of cancer, they were the marks of poison. Napoleon suspected it himself. In letters, he wrote of strange tastes in his meals. "They are killing me slowly," he whispered to loyalists. The British brushed it off as drama, but evidence suggests otherwise. Among those closest to him was Charles Tristan de Montholon. On the surface, Montholon was loyal, preparing meals, staying by his side. But he carried enormous debts that mysteriously disappeared. Later, bank records revealed British money flowing into his accounts. He had motive, he had access, he had opportunity. And Lowe's restrictions helped. Trusted doctors were replaced, letters censored, visitors barred. Napoleon's food passed through hands he could not trust. A perfect setup for a slow, hidden crime. By 1819, his health had collapsed. Once stocky, Napoleon now weighed barely 120 pounds. His stomach swelled with fluid, his skin hung loose, and his mind flickered between clarity and delirium. Some days, he was sharp as ever, dictating his will. Other days, he was lost in hallucinations, shouting orders to invisible soldiers or calling out for Josephine, his beloved first wife, who had been dead for 7 years. Witnesses described the smell in his chambers, sickly sweet, the odor of a body rotting from the inside. By April 1821, at just 51 years old, Napoleon could hardly get out of bed. His eyes were lifeless, his skin yellow, and his stomach badly swollen. British doctors claimed it was cancer and tried to treat him with mercury, blister plasters, and chemical burns. Remedies they believed could help at the time, but that only made his condition worse. One dose of mercury chloride sent him into violent convulsions, expelling blackened waste that reeked of blood. His stomach lining even sloughed off in pieces. If cancer was killing him, the medicine finished the job. May 5, 1821, Napoleon's final day. He slipped in and out of delirium, murmuring about France, his army, and his son. With thin, skeletal arms, he waved as if commanding invisible soldiers. In his last moments, witnesses said he spoke of France, of his army, and of Josephine. At 5:49 p.m., the emperor's breathing stopped. The next day's autopsy painted a grim picture. A stomach eaten away, a hardened tumor, intestines filled with nodules. Britain called it cancer. Safe, plausible, convenient. But a servant secretly saved locks of his hair. Tested a century later, the results shocked historians. Arsenic levels were found to be 40 times higher than normal. This wasn't from a single dose. It was long-term exposure, small amounts fed to him slowly over years. So what really killed Napoleon? Cancer, as the British claimed? Or arsenic, slipped to him by someone close, while his captors turned a blind eye? The truth may be both. Cancer could have existed, but arsenic explains the paranoia, the hallucinations, the drawn-out wasting of a man once thought indestructible. The cruel reality, exile itself was a death sentence. Whether by nature, conspiracy, or both, Napoleon's fate was sealed on St. Helena. Today, millions stand before his red marble tomb in Paris, seeing only gold, grandeur, and legend. But beneath lies the wreck of a man who died humiliated, undone by sickness, isolation, and betrayal. Napoleon Bonaparte learned what every ruler does in the end. Power fades, glory crumbles, and death cares nothing for thrones.